everyone, and welcome to another episode of Neighborhood Walking Tours, where we take you around the city of Toronto to explore neighborhoods, experience lifestyle, and make it easier for you to pick a neighborhood on your next move. And today, we head out to one of Toronto's most underrated West End neighborhoods, Beaconsfield Village. Located at the intersection of Trinity Bellwoods and Little Portugal, Beaconsfield Village is one of those places that just has a vibe. It's a melting pot of cultures, great food, beautiful architecture, and a real sense of community. So whether you're looking for a character-filled heritage loft, a brand new condo, a spacious townhouse, or a detached home where you can put down roots and raise a family, this neighborhood has a little bit of everything. So if you ever wondered what it feels like to live in the Beaconsfield Village, well, let me tell you, this video has it all. Come along with me and let's go check it out. Now let's dive in. One of the things I love most about Beaconsfield Village is its location. Nestled between Trinity Bellwoods to the east and Little Portugal to the west, it gives you the best of both worlds. The neighborhood is roughly bounded by Ossington Avenue to the east, Dufferin Street to the west, Queen Street West to the south, and Dundas Street West to the north. What makes this location so special isn't just what's inside the neighborhood, but everything surrounding it. Within a short walk, you can grab a coffee on Ossington, browse the boutiques along Queen West, spend an afternoon in Trinity Bellwoods Park, or explore some of Toronto's best independent restaurants, bakeries, and cafes. As you can see, this balance of vibrant city life and quiet residential streets continues to attract young professionals, growing families, and entrepreneurs looking for a neighborhood with both character and convenience. And let's not forget that Ossington Avenue is widely considered Toronto's most artistic street. So make sure to stick around all the way till the end and watch part 2 of this series, where I take you inside this private residence filled with an incredible collection of artwork, from bold pop art pieces reminiscent of Andy Warhol to timeless vintage works. While recording this neighborhood walking tour, I realized something very unique about this neighborhood. Despite being surrounded by some of Toronto's busiest neighborhoods, Beaconsfield Village somewhat manages to feel calm and safe. You hear people chatting on their front porches, kids riding their bikes, and neighborhoods stopping to talk to one another. Now, let's talk about commuting. Being centrally located is one thing, but what really matters is how easy it is to get around. So before we explore the neighborhood itself, let's look at what your daily commute could actually look like. Whether you drive, cycle, or rely on public transit, Beaconsfield Village is incredibly well connected, at least on paper. By car, downtown Toronto is only about 10 to 15 minutes away outside of rush hour, placing destinations like the Financial District, Union Station, King West, and the waterfront within easy reach. And for public transit users, getting around is pretty straightforward. The neighborhood is anchored by the 501 Queen and 505 Dundas streetcars, giving you convenient east-west access across Toronto. And depending on whether you're closer to the Trinity Bellwoods side or the Little Portugal side, you can also hop on the 63 Ossington or the 29 Dufferin bus, both of which connect north-south to Line 2 of the subway line, making it easy to reach just about anywhere in the city.
Here for line 2.
All this sounds great on paper. And of course, we all know that TTC has its good days and its not so good days. So if you've lived in this neighborhood or commute through this part of the city, let us know what your experience has been. Are there any tips, tricks, or other routes you'd recommend? Drop them in the comments. You might be helping someone deciding whether or not Beaconsfield Village is the right fit for them. Hey guys, just a quick pause here. I really want to thank the 600 subscribers who have supported me over the past year. Without you, we wouldn't be here and we wouldn't be doing any neighborhood walking tours. So thank you so much for your love, your support, and the motivation that you give me on a daily basis to share with you the latest in the Toronto real estate market and the neighborhood walking tours. And for those of you new to the channel, welcome. I really appreciate you staying with us in this video and exploring the best of Toronto. It would mean a lot to me if you can subscribe to the channel and help us grow this family to show everyone
everyone around the globe how beautiful Toronto is. Thank you so much for your support. Back to the video.
Long before Toronto expanded westward, this area formed part of the traditional territories of three distinct and culturally rich indigenous groups: the Anishinaabe, Haudenosaunee, and the Wendat peoples. At the time, the landscape looked completely different, with forests, creeks, and open farmland stretching far beyond the original town of York. Today, Beaconsfield Village covers just under 1 square kilometer, yet within that compact footprint, you'll find one of Toronto's most walkable and character-filled neighborhoods. The neighborhood takes its name from Beaconsfield Avenue, itself named after Benjamin Disraeli, the Earl of Beaconsfield and former British Prime Minister. Like many Toronto streets, its name reflects the city's strong British influence during the Victorian era. It wasn't until the late 1800s that Beaconsfield Village really began to take shape. As Toronto grew, farmland was subdivided into residential lots, and the arrival of the streetcar allowed people to live farther from downtown while still commuting to work each day. In many ways, Beaconsfield Village was designed long before the automobile industry. That's why you'll notice compact blocks, tree-lined streets, front porches close to the sidewalks, and neighborhood shops integrated into the community instead of being surrounded by parking lots. More than a century later, that same walkable design remains one of the neighborhood's biggest strengths. Walking around the neighborhood, you'll notice that many of the homes you see today were built between the 1880s and the early 1900s. Victorian and Edwardian architecture still defines much of the area, giving these streets a timeless character that's become increasingly rare in Toronto. Even the roads surrounding us tell us part of the story. Ossington Avenue began as a rural concession road, and it takes its name from Ossington Hall. And guess where Ossington Hall is? If you guessed England, congratulations, you're officially qualified to host a history documentary. Seriously, almost everything has to date back to England. And over time, it evolved from farmland into one of Toronto's most vibrant destinations for food, coffee, and nightlife. Dovercourt Road followed a similar path, growing from a country road into the quiet residential corridor we know today. And if you're a foodie, make sure you stick around. Later in the tour, we'll head back to Ossington Avenue, where I'll show you a few of my favorite restaurants and local spots that make this one of Toronto's best streets to spend an afternoon. But history isn't only reflected in the streets and buildings, it's also reflected in the people who made this neighborhood their home. Before we continue the story of how Beaconsfield Village evolved into the neighborhood we know today, let's make a quick stop at one of its newest additions. This is Misc, or Miscellaneous Coffee Shop, which recently opened its second location here at the corner of Dovercourt Road and Humbert Street. Alright guys, that was a much needed hydration break. What I love most about Misc, aside from the coffee, is its architecture. It's a great example of how modern design can enhance a neighborhood without erasing its character. The building is clean and contemporary, yet it respects the scale and charm of the surrounding streetscape. The symmetry, soft curves, large windows, thoughtful mix of materials, and balanced color palette create a space that feels modern, warm, and inviting. I also appreciate how the storefront opens directly onto the sidewalk, blurring the lines between indoors and outdoors and making the street feel like a natural extension of the cafe. It's the kind of design that encourages people to slow down, grab a coffee, and enjoy the neighborhood. And that's what makes Beaconsfield Village so special. It's not defined by one architectural style. Historic Victorian homes sit alongside thoughtfully renovated storefronts and contemporary spaces like this, creating a layered streetscape that's both authentic and constantly evolving. Now, speaking of the neighborhood's character, let's continue our story and explore the Portuguese legacy that helped shape Beaconsfield Village into the community it is today. And for all the coffee lovers watching, don't worry, we're not done yet. Later in the tour, I'll be taking you to one of my favorite coffee shops in the neighborhood. So make sure you stick around because it's definitely worth the visit.
Hey guys, I want to take a quick pause here to briefly introduce myself. I'm Eli Ashwi. I'm a residential real estate agent here in Toronto, and I've helped hundreds of buyers move in and around the city. Whether that's to a condo in downtown Toronto or a freehold townhouse or a detached home in Markham or Richmond Hill, my team and I have the most advanced tools and data insights about the Toronto real estate market that we can share with you when it comes time to buying or selling your home. So if you have any questions about the Toronto real estate market, or you're curious to explore what properties are selling in any particular neighborhood, make sure to reach out to me. You can find all my contact information down in the description of this video below.
Beginning in the 1950s and 1960s, thousands of Portuguese immigrants settled in Toronto's West End. At the time, Canada was looking for workers to help fuel its post-war economy, and neighborhoods like Beaconsfield Village offered affordable homes close to manufacturing jobs and downtown. As more families arrived, they sponsored relatives, opened local businesses, and built a vibrant community whose influence is still visible throughout the neighborhood today. They didn't just build homes here, they built a community. Family-run bakeries, cafes, restaurants, churches, social clubs, and local businesses became part of everyday life. One of the unique things about Beaconsfield Village is that this Portuguese influence isn't confined to just restaurants and cafes. It's woven throughout the neighborhood in subtle details that many people walk past without noticing. Take this colorful Barcelo rooster sculpture near Lakeview Avenue, Parquet. The Gallo de Barcelo is one of Portugal's most recognizable national symbols, representing faith, honesty, good fortune, and justice. It's a small piece of public art, but it serves as a lasting tribute to the Portuguese families who helped shape this community. The sculpture was created by a local artist, Julia Prajza, and it's a wonderful example of what can happen when a community invests in its public spaces. It was supported by the local Business Improvement Area, or BIA, a city-established organization made up of local businesses that work together to improve and promote their commercial district. Now you're wondering, what's a BIA anyways? Through a shared levy collected by the City of Toronto, BIAs help fund public art, streetscape improvements, neighborhood events, and other projects that make our communities more vibrant. Basically, they add more vibes to each part of the city. A great example of this is Taste of the Danforth, which is returning this year after a 2-year hiatus due to funding challenges. Now I'm curious, are you going to make it to the Taste of the Danforth this year? If not, what's your favorite BIA event or improvement in your neighborhood? Let me know where you're from and what makes your community special in the comment section below. And of course, there's a lot more to BIAs than I can cover in this video. If you're curious about how they work or how you can get involved in your own neighborhood, I've included some helpful links in the video description below. After seeing how much Portuguese culture has been woven into this neighborhood, I almost felt like I was in Lisbon, sitting by the waterfront watching the sunset.